We want to talk about Amazon, not about shopping, but Amazon workers. A U.S. labor board is giving Amazon warehouse workers in Alabama a chance to re-vote on forming a union. Joining us now to discuss this is employment attorney Jonathan Bell. Jonathan, good to see you as always. So the National Labor Relations Board found that Amazon pressured warehouse staff to vote against joining a union. No surprise there. Isn't that exactly why they need a union?
That is, and you bring it. This is a huge black eye on Amazon once again. If you remember years back, workers were getting injured. They were forced to work long hours, not given breaks. So finally, they get an opportunity to vote for a union, and the NLRB holds that the vote was unfair. That Amazon was intimidating the voters by a few ways. By number one, saying that they're going to have to close certain shops. By number two, they actually put a mailbox within an Amazon tent to give the appearance that supervisors might be looking to see who's voting what and going through the mail ballots. I mean, it's really crazy. There was even one person who stated that these dues are just going to be used to buy fancy cars by union employees. So this is shocking, but Amazon still did appeal this decision, so let's see what comes down from there. But normally, appeals are not founded.
Yeah, so Jonathan, also Amazon workers in Staten Island, New York, they also petitioned for a union election, then later withdrew the request. So it looks like we're seeing a pattern here. What is the legal ramifications of this? I mean, what does the law say when it comes to trying to stop people from forming a union?
Well, they can be fined. There could be huge financial losses, but at the same time, they are going to redo the vote. The vote was originally struck down 2-1, which was surprising. The NLRB definitely has some power. It is illegal to retaliate against an employee who is outwardly seeking to be part of a union or form a union. So there could even be a private right of action against attorneys that, again, could be very costly to the company. I mean, Amazon is the second biggest employer in the United States. So we're talking about like 950 million employees.
So are we seeing this, kind of trend here? I mean, away from union workers, because we always hear the current president, Joe Biden, talking about how much he loves unions. And here we see Amazon, trying to stop unions from forming. In Alabama, of course, they're also, if the workers there vote to form a union, maybe that'll set a precedent, but you would think that they would get support.
I think that the president and certain celebrities are coming out in support of the employees to ensure they're unionized as far as the Amazon workers are concerned. But it's not new that employers of big companies are anti-union. They want to make decisions without having to come and bargain at the table. So, unions are there to protect employees and employee rights. And sometimes employers look at them as a detriment to try to get things done.
So America, has a past of unions. They used to have really strong unions. We know there's unions that work well in other countries. What is going on here in America? Are people really opposed to unions, or is it that the companies are really scaring them into not wanting a union? I mean, what is the mindset when it comes to unions for Americans?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a little of both. Every time there's collective bargaining agreement negotiations, an employer would look at that as a deterrent that every year they have to sit down and discuss wages, holiday pay, sick leave, disciplinary. A union employee, if they don't agree with a disciplinary action, such as a termination or removal, they have a right to grieve it, go to a union, ultimately have an arbitration, and have an arbitrator decide whether or not that employee should be returned back to the workplace. So there's good reason why employers wouldn't want employees to unionize, and there are good reasons why employees would want there to be a union, except for the fact that employees have to pay union dues. So there might be some employees who say, listen, Every dollar counts for me. I don't want to give it to a union. I want this money in my pocket.
Yeah, but they might get more money in wages if they had a union. So there you go. But anyhow, we're out of time. Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's always great having you here on BNC. Take care. And stay with us, everyone. We have much more news ahead. This is BNC.